Good morning, ultimate hustlers and digital empire builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we have a special edition of Wellness Wednesday Rewind. And we're talking financial wellness today. Could you, in fact, be sacrificing to live below your means when instead you could be sacrificing to live above them? Oh, yeah, it's going down. We're going all the way in. I can't wait to share this episode with you that we did a couple months back, but it is worth doing yet again. And you've got to hear the concepts and the precepts around sacrificing for the right things when it comes to your money. So do me a favor, comment in the chat where you're from, drop the name of your business and or your brand, and smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen, and let's kick it. Yo, what's up, ultimate hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, also known as the one and only financial health mentor, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Bob Crane Financial and Tax Planning Services Studios right here in the STL. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, if you do not have a good financial planner or tax planner in your life, then I want you to click on the link in that description. I want you to connect with my man, Bob. Maybe you don't know if you need one. Well, go to his website and check out all of the free resources that he has available for you. And if you determine that you want to have a conversation with him, all you have to do is jump on his calendar, book a call. I only ask that you don't play with my man's time. If you're serious and you want some help, he will give you the help that you need at a fair price. So click on the link in the description and go check out my good friend Bob Crane and his financial and tax planning services. Today, we're talking on this Wellness Wednesday Rewind, financial wellness. Yes, it's been a while since we talked about money specifically on the show. Now, I know we talk about entrepreneurship all the time, which is in a way talking about money. But no, today we're talking about money because we've been taught and trained to sacrifice to live below our means. Well, in my opinion, sacrifice is sacrifice. So if I'm going to cut off cable so I can take that money and get out of debt, I can also cut off cable, take that money and invest in building me a business too. So I can sacrifice to live above my means in the same way that I sacrifice to live below my means. Normally, we would do some announcements, but nah, I'm going to jump right into the quote of the day on this edition of Wellness Wednesday Rewind, where we're talking about sacrifice so that you can build generational wealth. So let's cut to it. I know, man, we like to kick the show off with a quote of the day. Today's quote of the day, and this is fitting for what we're going to be talking about today. The question isn't who's going to let me. The question is who's going to stop me, right? And that is a quote from Ayn Rand, Aynrand. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. How many of you guys got that supreme confidence and belief in yourself? If you got that, comment keyword belief. Right? See, there's three things I believe about me. I believe that I can do all things with the capital A, capital L, capital L. Yes, I believe I can do all things. The second thing I believe about me is that I am a God under the Most High God, meaning the world that I live in, I am responsible for creating this world myself. Yes, and if my world is upside down, I did that, and I got to take full responsibility for it. Right? The third thing I believe about me is that everywhere the soles of my feet tread have already been given to me. I just got to claim it, right? I just got to claim it. So you've got to believe, and believe it or not, some of us are having trouble with that belief. We are waiting on somebody else to give us permission to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, the only permission you need to be great is your own. Right? The good book says all things are possible for him or her that believes. It didn't say all things are possible for him who's got a supporting wife. It didn't say all things are possible for her who's got homegirls that support her. No, it said all things are possible for they that believe. Do you believe in yourself to declare this quote of the day? The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. There's only one person on this planet big enough, bad enough, and bold enough to stop you from achieving your dreams, my friend, and that is you. Don't self-sabotage, man. Go after your dreams, give yourself permission, and go get it done. That was the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by EFI Financial Services. And thanks to EFI Financial Services, I want to bring to you for the month of April, Money Smarts Month, a financial affirmation. So before we get into pricing to live below your means and expanding your means, let me let you hear from my good buddy, Milt Jr., and his take on today's financial affirmation. I want you guys to say it with me as we roll this clip.
Today's financial affirmation: I can achieve financial stability. I can achieve financial stability. I will not spend more than I earn. I will not increase my consumer debt. I will not measure my achievements against those of others. I can achieve financial stability. I'm Milt Jr., EFI Financial Education Services.
Say it with me, people. I can achieve financial stability. That's my good buddy, Milt Jr. over at EFI Financial Services. If you want to sponsor a segment of the Cortez Hustle Show, just comment keyword sponsor, and I'll get you some information on all the ways that you can sponsor the show to help me keep this thing going. Now, a couple things that we're going to do today, man. And I'm going to go all the way in with you guys today because this is Money Smarts Month. I want to kick it off the right way. We hear a lot of people say it ain't about what you make, it's about what you keep. And while there is a lot of truth to that, it's not 100% accurate. Here in St. Louis, we have a spot not too far from where I live, about 12 minutes away from where I live. It's called Rent a Rim. That means you can go to this place and you can rent to own rims for your car, or you can rent them for the weekend. Do you realize that if we got an event coming up, Cardinals in the playoffs, summertime hits and rolls around, the hustlers in our community will go and rent a car for the week and then go rent some rims for the week to put on the rented car so they can pull up. Now, you tell me, is it about what you made? Is it about what they kept? Or is it about what they're doing with what they keep? See, we got to make sure that we are doing not only keeping our money, but what are we doing with the money that we do keep? And we know that a lot of people will say, well, Cortez, is all about living below your means. And I get that. And I know that sometimes you got to sacrifice and give up some of the things that you know, some of the things that you enjoy so that you can live below your means. Well, watch this. How about sacrificing to live or to expand your means, right? If you make $40,000, $50,000 a year and you want to live $100,000 a year lifestyle, why not expand your means to $100,000 a year? Now, here's the problem that most people have. They're saying, well, Cortez, my job won't let me. I can't get promoted on my job. I can't move up the corporate ladder to get to the amount of income that I want to live the lifestyle that I want to have. Let's go back to our quote of the day. The question isn't who's going to let me. It's who's going to stop me. And you mean to tell me you got aspirations to have caviar dreams, but you're going to let your job stop you because they won't promote you? You're going to let your job stop you because they won't give you a pay raise? Ladies and gentlemen, yes, you can sacrifice and cut off your cable and save $100 per month, right? And I'm going to show you here on our calculator what you could do with that $100 a month and turn it into some big money when we're talking generational wealth. But you could also sacrifice a little time and go and make another $100 a month instead of cutting off your cable to save $100. How about you go make $100? That's what we're talking about today. Yeah, see, I know y'all weren't ready for this one. Y'all wasn't ready for this. Y'all thought I was going to tell you, hey, man, just stop going out to eat. No, if you enjoy going out to eat, go out to eat. Just make more money so you don't have to take the mortgage money to go out to eat. Been there, done that. If you like going on vacations, just don't take the kids' college fund to go on vacation. Make more money so you can go on vacation. That's what we got to sacrifice to do, y'all. That's the sacrifice. Are you willing to give up a little sleep? Are you willing to educate yourself? Give up a little bit of your entertainment time so that you can educate yourself. Dr. George Fraser talks about the E to E ratio, your education to entertainment ratio. How much time are you investing in educating yourself versus the time that you're spending entertaining yourself? What does that ratio look like? Are you willing to take action about the things that you're constantly complaining about? Or do you just merely like to complain to get attention? Yeah, man, smash that share button. Somebody needs to hear this today. See, we spend a lot of time complaining about things that we actually have control over, that we could do something about. Man, I don't like my weight. As if we can't do something about that. I don't like the neighborhood I live in. As if we can't do anything about that. You got a lot more control over things than you admit to yourself, right? Because the problem that we have is nobody wants to take responsibility. It's always easier to blame everybody else than to blame yourself. There's a reason I'm not at 100 grand a month in my business. Guess what the reason is? It's me. See, I got to own that. If I don't ever own that, then, and I keep pointing the finger at everybody else, I will never fix the one thing that is in complete control of making that happen. Are you willing to take 100% responsibility for your life, man? Because if you are, I'm going to help you in the area of your finances and expanding your means. But it takes your willingness to take responsibility for the transformation. I love listening to David Goggins, right? He said, I had to be real with myself. I'm 290 pounds and I'm trying to get into the military, into the Navy SEALs program. What's stopping you, ladies and gentlemen, from getting to where you want to be? Seriously, right? Are you willing to take the responsibility? So what we're going to do, we're getting ready for 1 minute motivation, but I want to set you guys up so you know what's going to happen. On the other side of 1 minute motivation, we're going to talk about the mindset that is required for you to really lay in this wealth building cornerstone of expanding your means, because this is the most underrated, the most least talked about way of building wealth. You look at every wealthy person on the planet at one point or another, they just flat out had to go out and make more money. But it's easier to sit back and say, my job won't promote me. Nobody's hiring. I don't have time to go to college to get another degree so I can advance in my career. As if that is the only way that you can expand your means. So we're going to go all the way in today, man. We're going to talk about the mindset. We're going to talk about the 5 critical steps. And I'm going to show you why it's worth it. I'm going to show you what it looks like if you expanded your means to an extra $1,000 a month and you invested that every single month for the next 20 years. Anybody got any idea what that can become for you? Anybody got any idea if you invested $1,000 a month for the next 20 years? Give me a good guess of what you think that can become. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are like me, you are getting a kick out of this edition of Wellness Wednesday Rewind, and we're talking about sacrifices. But y'all know what time it is, man. I could not let the show go on without jumping into some 1 minute motivation. So let's get ready for 1 minute motivation. If you're new to the show, that's where we play a short motivational video and I share a couple of my thoughts. I ask you to comment a couple of your thoughts and takeaways as well. So on this Wellness Wednesday Rewind, let's get to a little bit of 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
When life knocks on your door, that's when you find out what you're made of. Life is either a daring adventure or it's boring. Don't miss a beat. When there are interruptions, when life has been snatched out from under you, when you have goals and dreams and you're going in a certain direction,
when you're working on changing your life, it's hard. See, life is hard. It's hard. When you're working on something and you put everything you have in it, you've given it the best that you have. When you have some major setback, it's hard. You will go through things, and while you're going through them, you can't understand why it's happening to you. It's hard handling just the tragedies of life. It's hard living. Life is hard. It's hard. Are you going to surrender? Are you giving up?
You're born for such a time as this. This is not it for you. This is a new beginning for you. You never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have. So you got to have faith in yourself. Faith not tested, can't be trusted. You have not done your best work yet.
You have not done your best work yet. Faith not tested can't be trusted. Ladies and gentlemen, life is going to happen to us all. The question is, will you be ready? And I don't know about you, but those of us who voluntarily put ourselves in uncomfortable positions find it far easier to deal with uncomfortable positions when life thrusts them upon us unexpectedly. Like Jim Rohn said, don't pray for situations to be easy. Pray for you to be better and then work towards getting better. Ladies and gentlemen, you know at some point it's going to happen. Why not start preparing for the test today? So we're going to get back to Wellness Wednesday Rewind, where we're talking about making tough sacrifices so that you can live better, build generational wealth. But it ain't about cutting things out so that you can live like a hermit. No, we might cut some things out so we can go harder to build and create and expand our means. So that was 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by our good friend Bob Crane, Financial and Tax Planning Services. Click the link in the description or in the show notes if you know you need help in the area of your taxes or building generational wealth. Those, especially those of you who are entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and you're responsible for your own retirement. If you don't have someone helping you with that, then Bob Crane is your guy. So let's get back to our Wellness Wednesday Rewind, where we're talking about making tough sacrifices, not to live below our means, but to live above them. In order for you to really get on the path to building generational wealth, then you got to have a strong reason why, right? And one of my colleagues, Sean T. Hill, broke down the word why. And I want to give that to you guys today. In developing a why, Tony Robbins talks about it's not the things that you want that you get. It's the things that you must have. And your why is what drives your must-haves in your life. If you don't have a strong enough why, then your must-have, you never develop a must-have. It just becomes a want. It's a desire. It's an aspiration. But when it becomes a must-have, you're willing to make tough sacrifices. So, what is your why? WHY. Number one, what hurts you? Right? What hurts you? Allow the things that hurt you to be a driving force for you. WHY. What has you? Right? What has you up at night? What has you anxious? Allow that to be a driving force in your life. What has you? Right? What hits you? there are things in our lives that when we see them, they just hit us in a way that reaches the core of who we are. And allow that to drive you to reach your goals and your dreams. What helps you? What helps you be at peace? What helps you be energetic? What helps you feel confident and strong? And how can you get more of that in your life? Allow that to drive you. And the last one, what haunts you? What haunts you? I remember listening to Tupac back in the early 90s, and he was always talking about death. I see death around the corner, right? If I should die tonight. Death haunted that young man. What haunts you? And are you allowing it to drive you to greatness, or are you allowing it to drive you in a corner somewhere and ball up in a fetal position and let life pass you by? What hurts you? What has you? What haunts you? What helps you? What hits you? What is your why? We're talking about building generational wealth using these cornerstones, but this wealth building cornerstone is not about cutting things out of my life and depriving myself. It's about me grinding harder and expanding my means. And if you are living below your means and that's working for you, then God bless you. But I want to talk to the people today who are saying, damn, with living below my means, I'm going to expand my means. I just need to know how to do it, Cortez. Well, I'm glad you stopped by this morning. 5 critical components to building wealth. You develop your why. You understand, I've got something that's driving me. My why is I don't want my grandchildren to have to worry about money. But not just my grandchildren. I don't want any of my descendants to ever have to be in position to where they have to chase a dollar ever again. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to make that happen. If you stick around to the end of the show, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make that happen. And it's something that you can implement as well. Now, I'm not saying that they won't chase money. I'm saying they'll never have to, because the family fortune is going to be so grand and robust. Imagine never having to chase money in your entire life. From the time you were born, you get to chase your dreams with all the resources you need to throw at making that happen. Where would you be? Imagine if you had all the resources right now for your children to go after their dreams 100%. Give everything they have to their dreams right now, and they ain't got to worry about the cost. That's what haunts me. When I was laid up over the Christmas break with COVID, you know what was haunting me? If I died today, are my sons, I got 5 sons, are they prepared for life without me? And then I went back to the movie Black Panther, when King T'Chaka went to see his dad in the afterlife, and he said, any father that has not prepared his children for life without him has failed. And I said, no, COVID, you got to get on away from around here. I've got work to do. I've got to prepare my sons for life without me. So that's my why. But once you develop your why, then here are 5 critical components of building wealth. Number 1, you got to define what that means to you. You got to define it. A lot of us have adopted other people's definition of wealth, other people's aspirations of wealth. No, define that for yourself. You need to make and create that target for yourself. Once you define it and you see what it is, what it's going to take, you got a clear picture of it. Now you got to decide if you want it. Right? If you really want to be wealthy, put in the comments, I decide. You got to decide. You can't just aspire to, you can't just wish, you can't just hope. You just can't say, oh, it would be nice. No, you got to make a clear decision. Because it's only when we decide to do something will the universe start moving everything around to make that happen for you. It's only when you decide the decision is what creates the commitment. See, the word decision is the opposite of the word incision. When your doctor makes an incision, he cuts into you. To make a decision is to cut away. See, when you decide, you cut away all the bull crap. And that's where commitment and discipline comes from. So you got to make a decision to be wealthy. Once you make that decision, you defined it, you've decided, now you got to draw up a plan. Now, I'm going to give you guys a plan here in a second, but you got to draw up a plan. Once you draw up a plan, number 4, you got to discipline yourself to execute the plan. Got to draw up a plan, and you got to stick with it. And trust and believe me when I say, the first time you go to execute this plan, you're going to fail. But that's where you learn. You're making an adjustment, and you do it again. And you're going to learn. You're going to fail. You're going to learn. You're going to make an adjustment. Please stop trying to take failure out of the success equation. Stop trying to take failure out of the success equation. Matter of fact, put more failure in and you'll get to your goal a lot faster. You got to discipline yourself to execute the plan. And last but not least, you got to disassociate yourself from those that will not help you or support you in your pursuit of that plan, of that goal. And what makes that so difficult is that some of these people that we have to disassociate ourselves from are people that we love. People that have been with us through the darkest moments in our lives. But as you are looking to elevate, and if they don't have the same aspirations, you cannot spend the majority of your time with people who are not going down the same path as you or have the same types of aspirations, right? You got to disassociate yourself from people who are not willing to support and or help you. And you don't do that by saying, hey, I'm kicking you out of your life. What you do is you just start strategically placing yourself around other people. And by default, you'll spend less time with those who are not willing to support or help. Right? That's the deal. Now, you're probably saying, Cortez, this all sounds good. I can develop the mindset, but I want to help you submit it, cement it rather into your brain. I want to show you why it's worth it, right? Because if I show you what $1,000 a month could become over the next 20 years for your family and your family's legacy, I believe you will then have a fire lit in you that will cause you to go out and create an extra $1,000 a month just so you can do this strategy and start building some generational wealth for you and your family. But before I do that, let me know if I'm talking to the right folks. Put generational wealth in the comments if that's the goal for you. Because if that's not the goal for you, you're on the wrong show. You're in the wrong place, and you don't want to waste another 20 minutes if you are not trying to build generational wealth. Now, let's talk real talk. Y'all want to make some extra money? Get yourself involved in some sort of entrepreneurial endeavor. And let me show you the benefits of. Anybody here think making an extra $1,000 a month is too grand, right? You get with the right coaches, the right mentorship. We got the internet, we got social media. You guys can make an extra $1,000 a month. I promise you, you can. Let me give you a little bit more of an incentive to do just that, right? Let me show you how generational wealth is built. Let me show you why wealthy people keep getting wealthier, and it's not about them taking advantage of poor people, right? Let me just say this before I share my screen. Because we've been taught this narrative through our media. There's a reason we've been taught this narrative that wealthy people are taking advantage of poor people. Now, are there some bad people out there? Yeah, there are. I can't say that there aren't, right? But we've been taught this narrative, and what this narrative does, it causes you to despise wealthy people. Here's the problem with that. You can't despise wealthy people and want to be wealthy yourself. It'll never work, because your subconscious mind will never allow you to become that which you despise, because then you would have to despise yourself. Oh, I'm gonna run that one back because I don't know if y'all got that. This narrative we've been taught causes us to despise wealthy people. You can't, on one hand, despise wealthy people and then want to be wealthy yourself, because your subconscious mind will never allow you to become that which you despise. Otherwise, you would have to despise yourself. So we got to fix our relationship with money first and foremost, ourselves first and foremost, then with money, then with those who have money, so we can learn from them. But I'm going to show you guys real quick what it looks like if you put your head down and you built a business. Now, some of you guys might want to just reduce your means all the way so that you can free up an extra $1,000 a month. That ain't me. I'm just going to go out and work harder and bring in an extra $1,000 a month so that I can put it in the right place. Let me show you guys this real quick. Go to a monthly periodic investment calculator. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Let's see. There we go. Share my screen. All right. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. I think this is going to bless somebody today. Oh, system, don't start messing with me today. Don't start messing with me today. Hold up, hold up, hold up. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Did I freeze altogether? Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, let me know if you could still hear me. Oh, somebody don't want y'all to get wealthy. Somebody don't want y'all to get wealthy. Let me see if I can bring us back, bring us back, bring us back. Here? Y'all still here? All right, so for some reason it looks like my camera is not working. There we go. All right. So let me do this real quick because we're running out of time now. I don't know what that was, but thank you guys were still able to hear me. All right, cool. So let's talk about this real quick. Let me see if I can share my screen and it don't shut me down like it just did. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a monthly periodic calculator real quick. We're saying that we're going to bust our humps. We're going to make some tough sacrifices to share, to create an extra $1,000 a month. We're not going to sacrifice to live below our means. We're going to sacrifice to live above our means. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to show you $1,000 per month. We're going to do 16% interest rate, and we're going to do this for 20 years, right? What does that become? See, some of us won't make the tough sacrifices because we don't think it's worth it. Bam. $1,726,441.64 is what that can become in 20 years. Now, watch this. I'm 46, be 47 years old today. So at 67, my family's legacy financially is worth almost $2 million. Now, watch this. I've got 5 sons. I'm going to take $1 million and make sure that they can have that out of the estate. $1 million, right? And I'm going to take the other $726,000 and I'm going to use that to make sure my grandchildren are straight. Watch this. Watch this. So that's $726,000. I'm going to do that at the same 16% rate of return. And I'm going to do this for 25 years. So by the time my grandchildren are around 40 years old, this is what they're going to stand to inherit, right? What will they stand to inherit? See, in 2 generations, 1 generation of me making some tough sacrifices. See, it ain't about whether my kids are going to do what they're going to do. No, I'm going to make this happen. So I bust my hump for the next 20 years, build a business, side hustle, whatever, to create $1,000 a month that I can invest. Because I'm connected to the right people, I know where to go get 16% rate of return. I put that money in the right places. That money grows to 1.7 million. I pass down 200,000 a piece to each one of my kids, right? So they've got the 1 million, they split that. But then I take the 726 and I allow that to keep growing for my grandchildren for another 25 years. And in 2 generations, my family goes from being the 4th born of 6 children on welfare to being worth $38 million. See, this is how wealthy people keep getting wealthier. And then for kicks and giggles, what about my great-grandchildren, right? What about my great-grandchildren? So I'm going to take, no matter how many grandchildren I have, I'm going to say, you guys get to split 18 million, right? Put it in a trust. You're not going to be able to get all of it at one time and trick it off and all that kind of stuff. But you're going to inherit 18 million. That's just from Pawpaw. That don't even count what your dad and mom got set aside for you. That don't even count what you're going to be able to make on your own. You just get this because you carry my last name. You guys understand what it means to be a Rockefeller today? Anybody else excited about making their last name worth millions? Oh man, I might be too excited for y'all today. So I'm going to take the 18 million and I'm going to split that amongst the grandchildren. And I'm going to take the other 20 million and I'm going to let that keep growing. Y'all don't have any idea what that's going to be. But I'm going to show you, because some of us need to see that the sacrifices are worth it. Now, I'm dead and gone long, but my name is on stuff, right? You guys realize Firestone is a name, right? Marriott, Hilton, those are names. Dolce & Gabbana, those are names. Ferrari is a name. Ford is a name. Anybody else as excited as me about putting your name on stuff? I remember I got a chance to interview Mike Roberts of the Roberts Brothers here in St. Louis, some of the wealthiest people in the St. Louis metro area. And in the interview, he talked about people asked him, was he ego tripping because he got to put his name on everything? He said, you don't ask Mr. Marriott, is he ego tripping because he puts his name on everything? You don't ask Mr. Hilton, is he ego tripping because his name is on everything? See, we got the game twisted, man. My name gonna be on everything. I'm trying to buy small towns and cities so that my name will be, you'll be able to go to a city named after me. Because my brother Ben X said, if you stop chasing passive income and start chasing passive impact, then the passive income will start chasing you. Oh, I want y'all to hear that. He said, if you stop chasing passive income and start chasing passive impact, the passive income will start chasing you. So what happens if I take that 20 million and I let that grow for another 5 years? Or another 25 years, shall I say? We're talking 3 generations, y'all. We're talking 3 generations. Wealthy people plan for 3 generations. Poor middle class people plan for the weekend. Let me show y'all what that becomes. 20 million. So we're talking 20 years for me, 25 years for my grandchildren. So that's 45 years. And then another 25 years. So 70 years worth of financial education being played out. And now my family is worth $1,063,478,372.80 because I decided to hustle up on $1,000 a month so that I can invest. Huh? In 3 generations, we go from 4th born of 6 children raised on welfare in a small town outside of St. Louis called Wellston, where my brothers and I would have to go to the rice house and get a 90-cent box of rice and split it between 3 of us. We would get 2. It was 3 boys and 3 girls in our family. So we would go get 2 90-cent boxes of plain fried rice. The girls would be able to split 1 box and the boys would be able to split another box. Half order. If y'all from St. Louis or somewhere around the Midwest, you understand a half order plain fried rice used to cost 90 cents. We would go get 2 of them. And that was our dinner. We'd have to then split. The boys would split 1 order. The girls would split another order. And guess what? My mom wouldn't even eat. And in 3 generations, some financial education, some execution, and some discipline. And in 3 generations, my family could be worth $1 billion. Now, what happens if I build my business beyond $1,000 a month? We got to understand that the sacrifice is worth it. The sacrifice is worth it, y'all. Don't just live below your means. Expand your means. Don't just settle, right? There's a Facebook meme that goes around that I absolutely love. Some of y'all are going to let a $50,000 a year job keep you from a $50,000 a month income. Expand your means. Now, some of you guys are asking, well, Cortez, where the heck can we get 16% returns on our money? I'm glad you asked. I'm doing a powerful workshop where I'm going to show you how you can go into these investment companies' accounts like a Fidelity, and I'm going to show you how you can get those types of returns, where to look, right? But this is only for Hustle Nation and my paid subscribers. So I put a link in the comments. You can subscribe to the channel, or you can subscribe to the page for $5 per month. And this weekend, we're going to do a live training where I'm going to walk you through some of the top mutual funds offered by Fidelity. And here's what's cool. If you guys go to open an account, they made it super easy. Super easy. Super easy, right? You can open a money management account, a cash management, and a brokerage account at the same time. And I'm going to show you where and how to look and determine those great returns. But this is only for those who invest in me. I want to pour into you. When you become a fan subscriber for $5 a month, that allows me to continue this work. It allows me to continue to make a passive impact, so the passive income will follow me. L.A. Jones, like that. Make sure you give Brother Ben X credit for that, man. I just heard him say that just yesterday or the day before. And I was like, man, that is heavy stuff. So put keyword sacrifice in the comments if you now understand that the sacrifice is worth it. Some of you guys are building network marketing companies. Some of you guys are into affiliate marketing. Some of you guys are doing your own thing, creating your own products and services. Some of you guys are authors, coaches, speakers, trainers, whatever. Put in the work to take your life to the next level, ladies and gentlemen. I want to help you do that, right? But you got to put some skin in the game too. So subscribe to the channel. And I hope to see you guys in the Hustle Nation private Facebook group, where you're going to get that invitation to learn how to get double-digit returns on your money. Until I talk to you guys next time, I want to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Muscle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez